Okay, so I want to do a quick video on how to get our probe calibrated. One of the things that we run into when we use the probe or probing on our machines is we have a problem of different students are using these machines all the time and they're not necessarily taking care of them the way that they need to be. Or you might come over to one like this. This one already is partially in a cycle. The probe's flashing. Typically when you come over to a machine, the batteries are going to be out of the probe. They're going to be sitting in this tray. I've already loaded them up in there because I already did a length calibration on this tool so that I could figure out what the diameter or what the length was. Some of the things I need to know as I go into this, I need to know the diameter of the ruby. I need to know the ring diameter that I'm working with, and I need to know my overall tool length. All those things I've already calculated, and I'll walk you through those as we go. So I'm going to go in. First, I'm going to go to MDI and erase the program that I have in there so that I can stop some of these actions from happening. So MDI, program, find out where I'm at. And so to do that, you go into jog. I'm at negative 17,404. And so I go back to MDI, back to program, minus 17.404. And then F1 is the overwrite for that. My next one is my tool length. And so tool length and probe length I need to figure out, and so I can go back to my tools information. This is my tool 1, it's my probe, and it's 5 inches, 521 thousandths long. So I go back to MDI, back to program, and I know my length. And my shim is 1 thousandth. I already set my tool just above my gauge ring. And so my probe length is the same. I already measured my ball diameter at 236, and I know that my calibration master diameter ring is 5 inches, 5, 12, and 4/10. It's written right on the side of the gauge ring, so I know. So I go down to here, position my probe about 300 thousandths of an inch above the center of the calibration master, press cycle start to begin calibration. So I'm going to set this in here so we can see what's happening in the middle of our process, and hopefully we can see that okay. So you're going to ask yourself, why is this thing going to go through the cycle so many times? Why is it going to hit 4 points, rotate the tool, hit 4 points, and go again? This is more than just a 4-hit on a touch-off. This is calibrating how true the probe, how true the ruby is on there, is mounted on the holder, how true it's running. That's why we took the time in the video before this to make sure that our tool probe itself was running true. So we got it running true when we had it in the vise using an indicator, and so now we're able to come in and calibrate the ring. Most of these processes aren't going to take more than about 6 to 7 minutes apiece. So we can go ahead and hit cycle start on our cycle and run through it. So that calibration is complete. Took 5 minutes and about 27 seconds to get that taken care of. So that's setting up and calibrating our probe. The one that you need to probably watch before this is how to get our probe running true, how to indicate the stem and the ruby on that so that we know that that thing's running. Then about 3 to 4 tenths, probably about as far as I'd want to go on that. So setting up the probe, using the probe, is super beneficial for us. If you have problems with the probe, you can always use the edge finder, always use an indicator, some of those other alternatives. But if I've got the option to use this, if it's at my disposal, I want to try and use it as much as I can. One thing that I want to watch for is make sure that I've got good batteries in my tools and make sure that I'm pulling the batteries out. So for me, if I'm done with this tool, which I am, so I'm going to go ahead and do the normal process of what it takes for this tool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to raise the tool up. So I'm in jog. I'm going to move up in Z. So if I've already touched everything off, I've already done all my project, finished up my program, I'm done using the probe for the day. First thing I want to do is go ahead and pull this out. I'm going to pull this battery pack out, and then I'm also going to pull the batteries out of the table sensor, the OTS sensor. And what I want to do with those is I want to just drop them in the tray. The tray sits up by all of the tools. So we'll put this back in, close that up so it doesn't get wet. And we'll go ahead and take our tool out. So your tool's going to sit right here, and you've got your tool and your batteries sitting there. They're all ready to go for the next person or the next operation that you might have.